So there is a beef right now that is happening between Bushiri and Dr. Mbuyiseni.
There is someone here in Malawi who is wanted in South Africa.
Who is a former EFF MP in Parliament. He's a politician. But, you know, recently Mbuyiseni is a host of a show on one of South Africa's biggest radio stations and so forth. And so it's quite an interesting one that he recently was in Malawi and he thought to touch the honestness of Papa Bush. And so he said some things about Bushiri. Bushiri responded. Bushiri was not happy with what was said. So who is right? This is the name. That's what I want to ask on this particular video. I'm going to listen to what Mbuyiseni said, and then we're going to go over to Bushiri's response. And then at the end of that, then we'll decide who was right, who is speaking truth, facts, and all this. You know, the whole Narquachers. The show the daily Christian commentary videos. If it's your first time of YouTube, sure, check out some other videos that are down in the pinned comments, and I'm going to check you out over there. Sometimes it takes a little bit of motivation to make a video. It's very draining, this job. But then, you know, and you just hear certain things, they just fire you up. And this video is such a can. This were Mbuyiseni's words.
Very important. Some of them are rich out of tithes and offerings. There is someone here in Malawi who is wanted in South Africa. I'm going to ask the minister to help me go past that house of that person and just tell him there are questions for you there in South Africa that you must come answer.
So very straightforward and direct words here. But what I want you to pay attention to is what was the context, overall context of what Mbuyiseni was actually saying. Because it's very easy to hear that particular comment about Bushiri and be thinking, yeah, why is he attacking Papa Bush over there, you know? But you have to notice context around what he's saying. But before we get to his context, let us go over and read what Papa Bush's response was. In his post response, he says, I am astonished to hear Dr. Ndlozi attended a public lecture in Malawi and asked, why am I rich? Seriously. No, you see, that's the wrong question. Mbuyiseni asked how, not why. How did I even come into the public political lecture? That's exactly why I say context is everything. Can't this jealous, poorly rated politician like me with xenophobic tendencies leave me alone at once? Why so much hate against me? Your question about my wealth is nonsensical. Now, I want to pause it right there. Before we finish the rest of Bushiri's post, I want to take this moment for you to hear the context of what Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was actually asking. If you listen to what he said just 2 minutes before, you'll have context. This is what he was saying.
There are people here in the continent, they say they are rich. And then when you ask them, how do you make your money? You and I know why Mark Zuckerberg is rich. He's got Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. That is his invention. That is his product. We know why the owners like Steve Jobs, who has died, why was Steve Jobs rich? He invented the iPhone. We know why that philanthropist called who owns Microsoft, Bill Gates. We know why Bill Gates is rich. He invented Microsoft. Now go all over here in Malawi. Ask all rich people, what did you invent? What's your contribution? What's your There is a president there in South Africa called Ramaphosa. He is also very rich. But minister, Ramaphosa's riches come out of owning McDonald's. But Ramaphosa did not invent a burger. He's got shares in McDonald's. He's got shares in this mine and that mine that are ultimately just taking minerals from our continent to support the industrial projects of Europe and America. It's time we ask these people who are rich, maybe they must start telling us, you are rich because of bribes from Europe. And what do you do in return is to suppress the African black inventors, is to support the people that are going to invent the products that will make us not depend on Europe. Very, very important. Some of them are rich out of tithes and offerings. There is someone here in Malawi who is wanted in South Africa. I'm going to ask the minister to help me go past that house of that person and just tell him, there are questions for you there in South Africa that you must come answer. Whether you are a pastor or a politician, you don't have the right to steal from the poor. Not in the name of God, not in the name of our people.
You will notice, Mbuyiseni was asking how did they get rich? How did they get rich? Are they using people's thingy? Are they taking advantage of people and whatnot? He was asking how. He wasn't saying why are you rich? That's a very weird question. He's asking how did one get to that thingy? And with that, then he said, this is why there are questions for you to come and answer in South Africa. In Satawati? In Southa. You have questions to answer where? In Southa. So the context wasn't thingy. No, the context was how. This is why in the very same speech you hear him questioning Cyril Ramaphosa's wealth. He's asking how. If he's asking this question of a president, his own president, why can't he ask the question about you, who's a public figure? But anyways, yeah, no, man, they don't like those kind of questions. Anyways, he continues on. He says the question is nonsensical. He says, you can't bully me in South Africa and expect me to do the same here in my home. You can't advise Malawians to ask me questions about my wealth. Okay, they are not naive. Is this the reason why you betrayed Julius Malema? So now someone is betrayed. Now he's advocating here for Bushiri. He never ceases to amaze me. I think Bushiri is the most entertaining person in all of Christendom. You know, there are tears and wits. He's the most entertaining. The things he says, you're like, what? How did you come to such conclusions? You betrayed your brother Julius Malema. Next time, focus on politics to answer your question. Malawi knows why I am rich. No, that's not the question. You're asking the wrong question. He asked how. How did you get rich? I help the poor and create jobs. So is that how you got rich? Helping the poor? Is that how you got rich? This past year alone, I created over 5,000 jobs at my farms and Gosham's thingy. And no, they're asking how you got it. Not how you're using it. You are talking about how you're using the wealth. They're asking how you got it. You see? Once you start answering the wrong question, leaves it right there. Papa Bush, the problem with Papa Bush is that he's answering the wrong question. If he was answering the right question, the question is, how did you get rich? Not why did you get rich? Like, that is it's a ridiculous question. And then when he phrases it like that, he makes you focus on that. You're like, yeah, they're reasoning wrong. Can't, if you go and listen to the context, he completely missed it. It's like reality show with daily Christian commentary videos. That's the likelihood when you are dealing with people that speak out of context. By the way, shout outs to Malawi Today, I think. That's the name of the platform. Yes, Malawi Live Today. They are the one that posted the video of the thingy. I'll leave that video down in the description below. You can go and check that video out. And I'll see you on later on. Please answer the right question. They said you have answers to give in South Africa. He should have come back with you.